Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the fourth and final webinar in the series of our first annual University of California Career Conference for international students. I'd like to acknowledge the support from the career centers that made this conference possible. So a very special thank you to UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC Santa Barbara, UC Santa Cruz, UC Irvine, UC Riverside, and UC San Diego. My name is Karen Dosher. In this webinar, I'll talk about how you can apply the art of mindfulness to boost your job search. First, let me give a little background on myself. I'm an alumna from UCSD with a master's in international affairs, and now I'm a career coach for international students at UCSD. When I advise students on how to find jobs or internships, I typically guide them through strategies for networking, tailoring a resume, setting SMART goals, and so on. But today I want to share another strategy that can be a powerful tool in your job search. Let's be real, job searching is a source of stress and anxiety for most people. There are many uncertainties and things that go beyond our control that can make it stressful. For example, the job search takes longer than anticipated. The job market is competitive. Some employers are not familiar with the process of hiring international students. Some employers have a bad habit of ghosting applicants. It might feel like you're sending your resume into a black hole. So of course, this can be frustrating, exhausting, and at times overwhelming. In this presentation, I'm going to focus on self-care and reflection so that you can be resilient and power through to the next step in your career journey. So let me tell you a little bit more about my story. In my career journey, I've experienced a lot of job stress, a lot of job search stress and anxiety that took a long time for me to overcome. Back when I was in college, I studied abroad in Vietnam, and then I turned that experience into living and working in Vietnam for 7 years. It is not as simple as it sounds. In that time, I learned the hard way about how to navigate the challenges of working in Vietnam as a US citizen. The process to get work authorization was incredibly long and complicated in my case. And for me, living abroad long-term was filled with challenges, but also learning experiences. And ultimately, I became very successful in my career in international education. So after that, I chose to relocate to San Diego. When I came to San Diego, I did not have a job lined up. And to be honest, I had not done my research on the job market. I also did not have a network of connections here before I arrived. I thought that with my education, with my international experience, that employers would be eager to hire me. The reality was quite different than my expectation. And so my job search felt like a full-time job, and it went on for months, it went on for years. Back then, I didn't really know where or how to look for jobs that were the right fit for me. There were a few particular experiences that led me to some very self-defeating thoughts. You know, I had sent out hundreds of applications and got no response for months at a time. When I got rejection letters, they always said I wasn't the right fit. I wasn't a cultural fit. And I really didn't understand what that meant. So I tried applying for positions that were below my skill level. And when I finally did get an interview, I remember the interview, it was going well for 30 minutes until the interviewer very abruptly ended the meeting and showed me to the door, and I didn't get the job. It left me with thoughts that I wasn't a good candidate for that field of work. I even began to doubt the value of my skills and talents, and at times I wanted to give up. So my mind started to focus on what didn't go well in the past. You know, the fact that I was sending out hundreds of applications and getting only a few responses. I was stuck on the fact that when I did have interviews, they didn't lead to job offers. I had to accept part-time work that wasn't in line with what I wanted to do. And so I really started to believe that I wasn't capable, I wasn't deserving of a good job. And carrying these self-defeating thoughts into interviews really set myself up for failure. It took me a long time to realize that I needed a different approach, and I needed to find ways to be persistent, I needed to find ways to stay positive, even when times were tough, so that I could eventually achieve my goals. And I'm sharing this because I hope that others can learn from my experience and have a much easier time in the job search than I had with mine. So another thing, back to when I was living in Vietnam, I was introduced to the practice of mindfulness. And it's something that has influenced my ability to overcome challenges, over the last decade and a half. So I want to talk about how mindfulness can be a very valuable tool in your job search. So first off, let's talk about what is mindfulness. In our daily lives, we sometimes get weighed down or overwhelmed with negative thoughts. We're either thinking about something from the past or we're looking ahead to the future. And we're not really present in the moment. We're not present here and now. So this can be physically and mentally exhausting. We're not able to perform our best while we're working or studying or searching or in other aspects of our personal or professional lives when we're so focused on the past or the future. So mindfulness is really about maintaining this moment by moment awareness of our thoughts, our feelings, sensations in the body, and our surrounding environment. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing where your attention goes and guiding it back to the present moment. Mindfulness can help us calm the mind and re-energize the body. It helps us build concentration skills. It helps us see situations with greater clarity, and it helps us be resilient in challenging situations. So why is this useful in the job search? Well, here are a few ways. Mindfulness can help us increase our awareness. So we become aware of our actions, aware of our tendencies towards procrastination, aware of our tendencies towards self-criticism. We recognize any self-sabotaging or self-defeating thoughts and behaviors so we can correct those actions. It also helps us practice non-judgment. So avoiding negative judgments, for example, if you're looking at a job description, don't assume that you're not qualified if you don't meet 100% of the qualifications. If you're close, let's say you have 60% of the qualifications, go for it, because you might be what the employer is looking for to fill that position. So do take time to learn about the company and how your skills might fit in there, rather than judging or assuming that you wouldn't be a good fit. Mindfulness also helps us with focus and concentration. Mindfulness lets us focus on what we can control. So we can focus on the task that we need to work on. We can block out distractions and we can avoid negative thoughts. So for example, you can stop watching Netflix or stop chatting so that you can work on your resume or build up your LinkedIn profile. Or let's say you have a job interview coming up and all you can think about is the last interview, how nervous you got and you couldn't answer the questions. That's okay. Bring your mind into the present moment. Rather than focusing on the mistakes of the past or uncertainty of the future, think about how well this presentation, how well this interview is going to go. Also focus on the progress that you are making in the job search. How many companies have you researched? How many applications have you put in? How many people have you connected with? That's progress. Even if you haven't achieved your goal of getting a job offer yet, you're still making progress towards that goal. And it's good to be aware of that. And also, mindfulness is good with stress management and resilience. So it's nice to have a chance to refresh and re-energize your body and mind, to really take a break from the stresses of the job search and those external stresses that we can't control. So in this workshop, I'll lead you through 3 mindfulness exercises, and they only take a few minutes each. Having mindful habits in your daily life can help you to be more resilient and to keep going. So you can approach the job search feeling more calm, more confident, and reduce or avoid any self-criticism and self-defeating thoughts and behaviors that can hold you back. So first, I want to talk about a breathing exercise. We can become more mindful in our daily activities to bring our awareness into the present moment. One thing I recommend is setting an alarm. You can set an alarm on your phone, or if you have an alarm clock, and just so that it goes off and reminds you to take a quick break. It only takes a few minutes. So if you're like me and you have the habit of sitting for long periods of time working on a project or a task, having an alarm go off that reminds you now is time to get up and take a break. Take a break for 2 or 3 minutes, and then you can come back and work on the task that you were working on. So let's go through this breathing exercise together. Feel free to follow along with me now, or you can simply listen in this time and you can try this again later. So when you practice mindful breathing, you simply allow the breath to take place. Breathing in and out. You become aware of your breath. So perhaps now you're just noticing for the first time today that you're breathing. Try closing your eyes. And I'm going to turn off my camera just so you can focus your attention on your breath. So take a breath in and out, noticing your breath. Slowly count as you take another breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for a moment. And breathe out, continuing slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue, take a slow, deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for a moment and breathe out, making your exhalation longer than your inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you notice your mind wandering, slowly bring it back into the present moment. Again, focusing on your breath, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. It becomes effortless and you enjoy it. I find myself melting with each exhalation, letting go of the worries about an upcoming deadline, relaxing the tension in the body. So it's really nice to have those short breaks. Again, it only has to be a few minutes. You could do it in as little as 30 seconds, maybe take 3 minutes or so. So when you're searching for a job, the job search is a very big task. It takes a lot of time. The process of applying for OPT, lining up a job can take several months. So during that time, really be kind to yourself. Schedule time for breaks, schedule time for self-care, schedule time to breathe. So in addition to mindful breathing, you can also practice mindfulness in everyday activities like walking, cooking, brushing your teeth even. So I want to talk a little bit about mindful walking. This is an activity you can also do in a very short amount of time. It only takes, 30 seconds or a few minutes. This is a good activity if you've been sitting for a long period of time. Let's say you've been working on your resume, you've been working on your job applications, you've been sitting at the computer for an hour or so. It's really good to get up and move your body, get your blood flowing, get the oxygen going back up to your brain. You could also do this if you have a job interview and you're really feeling nervous. You can use this as a way to calm your nerves before you start. So if you want to follow along now, feel free to do so, or you can simply listen in for now and try this at a later time. So if you're standing up, notice your feet touching the ground. Feel the ground with your feet. Wiggle your toes. Maybe you're wearing socks or shoes. So notice how those feel against your skin. Now I want you to take one small step forward. So you're going to slowly lift one foot, very gently placing it on the ground. Imagine if your foot is kissing the earth. So very soft, very gentle. And now you're going to repeat with the other foot. Slowly lift up your foot and gently place it on the ground in front of you. Now with mindful walking, you're simply allowing each step to take place. Become aware of each step. So left foot and right foot. Left foot and right foot. Again, trying to bring your awareness into the present moment, focusing your attention on the here and now. If you notice your mind wandering to the past or looking to the future, bring it back. Left foot, right foot. Notice the other sensations in your body. Notice the air touching your skin. Does the air feel warm? Does it feel cool? Maybe you're outside and you feel a gentle breeze, or you feel the sun on your skin. Maybe you're inside and you hear the fan rattling. Right now I can hear the refrigerator buzzing in the background. So bring your awareness back into this moment. Left foot and right foot. Left foot and right foot. Each foot gently lifts up and returns to the ground. Left and right. Enjoy each step. Each step brings joy and it becomes effortless. It only takes a few moments to give your mind a break and to re-energize your body. So let's try one more exercise in mindfulness today. Maybe you're starting to feel a little bit hungry now. I want you to think for a moment. When was the last time you enjoyed eating? I mean, when was the last time you fully enjoyed the experience of eating? I know when I get busy with a task, I tend to eat very quickly, mindlessly, not aware that I'm eating, and certainly not enjoying the experience. Do you sometimes find yourself doing that too? So I'll take you through an experience in mindful eating. This is an activity you can do when you're having a snack or a meal. If you have a small piece of food with you now, you can follow along. Or of course, you can simply listen in and try this activity the next time you eat something. So first, take a small piece of food. Right now, I have a slice of avocado in front of me, but you can use any food that you like. For example, a sandwich, a cookie, a raisin. There's no judgment about the choice. Choose what you like, but you're going to bring your attention to your enjoyment of eating. Explore the food with as many senses as possible. So using the sense of sight, look at the food. Notice the texture. Is it smooth or bumpy? Notice the color. Is it bright, dull? Is it one color? Is it many colors? Notice the shape. Notice the size. If your eyes are open, go ahead and close your eyes now. Focus on your sense of touch. So feel the food. What does this piece of food feel like? Is it hard or soft, dry, sticky, grainy? So focusing in on one sense at a time, you're going to notice the different aspects of your experience. So next you can explore with your sense of smell. Smell the piece of food in front of you. How does it smell? Now you can take a small bite and chew very slowly. You're going to experience tasting and chewing. Continue to close your eyes and focus on the sensation. Really enjoy that food. Enjoy the nourishment that your body is receiving. So this exercise brings your mind into the present moment. It gives your mind a break from thoughts about the job search or about classes or about other things in your life. So take a short break from filling out job applications or tailoring your resume or networking. Eat mindfully and really enjoy the experience of eating. When you finish, you can continue the task you were working on. You may find yourself working more efficiently, more effectively when your body and mind are nourished. So I have a few final thoughts before we end today. I would just like to say that you should be kind to yourself in the job search. It takes time to find a job that is a good fit for you. Use mindfulness to increase your focus and your awareness. Use mindfulness to be resilient in the face of the many challenges or roadblocks that you may come across in your job search. Notice if you're having negative or self-defeating thoughts. Get support from a career coach, from a mentor, from the University of California alumni networks, from your community. The job search can be exhausting, but it doesn't need to be lonely. You don't have to do this alone. Get support, get other people to be a set of eyes and ears in your job search. Talk to people who may be able to give you a referral for an open position. And also check out the resources from your career center, from the career center at your campus. Check out their website, see what they have available to help you out. I'd also like to say that for those of you who registered to attend the University of California Career Conference for International Students, we will be sending out a survey to you by email, and we'd really appreciate your feedback for this conference so that we can continue to provide valuable career events and workshops. So I want to thank you for allowing me to share with you today. And if you have any questions, you can drop those into the Q&A. I'll stay on for just a few more minutes. If not, I would like to say this concludes our webinar, and thank you so much for joining us today.